Shalom, my homies. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Stacking Triggers podcast, a podcast for casual spikes like you and me and Bill. How are you, Bill?
Yes, I'm good, Dan. I'm great. I'm here. I'm ready to experience magic the way Richard Garfield intended through the earphones.
Ah, so unfortunately, we have strayed further and further from Richard Garfield's light when it comes to Magic the Gathering. But hey, it happens.
It's fine.
Uh,
It's okay.
Yeah. So on today's episode, there is very little card game talk outside of what we've done in the past fortnight regarding the card game. So if that's your least favorite part, thank you for trying. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, we're gonna talk not a lot. It'll be a very short episode. Maybe a little bit of Bill bitching about Gundam and the lack of communication. But Bill
Yes.
also learning that this being his first his first Bandai card game. That boy, Bandai sucks at communicating.
Yeah. Been very, very disappointed. But
All right,
we could talk about that when it's that time.
it's true. All right, Bill. So it's time. Fortnite and card games. Let's start with you.
Yeah, Fortnite and card games. What did I even play?
Not modern. Not this last weekend. Not
Oh,
this last
right.
week.
This last week. Yeah. So we'll just cut to that. 3 people total showed up. Normally we're like 9 or 10. I don't know what happened this week. We've been having a lot of people bitching about, oh, I can't beat Titan. You can't beat Titan unless you're running the One Ring or decks that I don't like to play.
That's wrong. That's incorrect. You
I
actually
agree.
lose to Titan if you resolve the One Ring. But okay.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I think they were bitching about them having the One Ring because everybody hates
Yes.
the One Ring, and it's like that's just the reality we live in right now. Either way, not enough people showed up. And so I've heard some people like talk off and on about like, hey, I'd like to try other formats. There's other formats I'd like to play. Like for some reason, people are thinking standard's in a good spot right now. I don't
Sure.
know if that's true or not. I know you don't
Sure.
like standard.
Yeah.
But like, so I put a poll out. I put a poll out to my LGS as like, hey, if we were to change Thursday, because Thursdays are only 60 card night. Everything else is either Commander or other games.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Like I don't understand. Anyways, uh, the formats I put up though was Modern, Pioneer, Legacy, Standard, Pre-Modern, and Pauper. Standard has 7 votes, with Modern having 6 and Legacy having 4. And granted, I did say, hey, you could vote for more than one, but yeah, so fantastic. Maybe I'll have different formats to try going forward. The week before, though, I was on Blue Black Murktide.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Well, terrible.
Yeah, you don't have the fundies for it.
I don't have the fundies, and my work-life balance has been very, very bad as of late. And so everything has been super stressful, and things that should be relaxing have not been relaxing. So just have not been able to get into a groove.
Yeah.
I think I went 2-2 still, which was yay, fun.
Yeah.
But also round 1 bye, yay.
Happens.
I hate round 1 buys.
I mean, if you're willing and able, there's always a night where we can set aside and I can just sit there and coach you. And I promise I will actually not tell you what to do. It'll just be like, hey, let me point you in a direction that you should be going when it comes to Murktide. Because I generally do that to you. I'm like, yeah. I start out good. I start with good intentions. And I'm like, let's think about this approach. And then all of a sudden I'm like, all right, counter this. All right, bounce this.
Yeah.
All right, ignore this.
Yeah. It ends up that you just play through me, and then you get mad at me because I get impatient and click things quickly. Because
you do, and then you punt the game.
It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, that was it. As far as my Fortnite, I have been kind of tweaking with 2 decks for Eternal Weekend, but I'll talk about that later.
Sure.
What about you, Dan? Did you play any Fortnites?
Oh my god, I played so much Magic. So I've been playing almost exclusively Breach combo for the past 2 weeks, and it's gone well. So I played in a 1K, which had 12 people. I think it was 12 people who joined
Nice.
for it. So that's like, as long as you win 2 rounds, you're like guaranteed top 8 to cash, because it was guaranteed like top 8 cashes, but cut to top 4.
Mm-hmm.
And so I won all 3 of my Swiss. I won my 3 Swiss rounds I played, and then I drew a 4th one. I played against Energy, Eldrazi, and then Eldrazi again.
Jeez.
And in top 4, because one person said, let me say this. I'm not mad that this person didn't want to split, but like, hey, the split was like $200 per person in top 8 or in top 4. Like, each person in top 8 got 50. Everybody in top 4, if we all split, get fucking $200 a piece, And do you know how much entry was? $30. It was a 30. So that's like almost a 7x multiplier on just like,
jeez.
Hey, play like 4 rounds of Magic, get $200.
Yeah.
Like, seems good. Normally, and like, this person's the person I drew with in round 4. So for them, it's like, play 3 rounds of Magic, get $200. That was my thought. So we get to the split, and I'm like, I'd like to split, and then like another person's like 3 people immediately are like, we want to split.
Yeah.
And the 4th person's like, is anybody indifferent to splitting? And we're like, no, we pretty much want to split. And it goes for about 3 minutes. And they just keep waffling back and forth, not making a decision. And then finally they blurt out, I want to play. And I'm like, if you drew the prior round, you won the round before that in like 30 minutes. So you've had 70 minutes to think this over.
Yeah.
To think, do I want to play this? Like, your answer should have been straight, like 3 people straight up go split. And your answer needs to come out exactly at that time too. You can't just fucking waffle on it. Like, that's what made me more mad than anything, is that like it took them an additional 3 minutes to decide, yeah, I just want to play. And like,
I just want to play. Like, if they just wanted to play, like, you could play and still split the monies.
True.
Because there were still rounds that needed to happen, right?
So the venue was closing. Vendors were packing up at this time, and I felt like the TO should have just come over and be like, split this top 8, go home.
Yeah,
we're trying to get everybody the fuck out of here. Let's go. Like,
yeah,
that's what I felt like honestly should have happened. It didn't happen. So yeah, I played Murktide in top 8 or in top 4. I'm gonna accidentally say top 8 constantly, but top 4. I lose 2-0. I punted game 1. I thought I had enough mana because I had double Breach in hand.
Yeah,
and they had no mana after I resolve a Rumble, and I'm like, I think I have enough that I can go Rumble, Breach, Grinding Station, and then I look and I'm like, oh, I have no mana for this Grinding Station. So, But so what I needed to actually do was like Emery target Grinding Station, cast Grinding Station, and then hold. And then I think the following turn I would have had 4 mana, including 2 red. So I could have gone Breach and they counter it, and then I go Breach again. And if they have nothing for that, I just win the game on the spot.
Right.
Game 2, they fucking surgical my Breach and then surgical my Urza Saga. And then like I have nothing. Like I have no way to win the game. Like I can't combo them, and I can't beat them to death with constructs. So
that sucks.
I just lose. So yeah, I punt game 1. I'm not like I'm more mad about that than anything. And I'm pissed that I lost out on $100 because somebody could not decide within 70 minutes whether or not they wanted to split or not. It was so aggravating. But
yeah,
against there were cool lines. Against the Eldrazi player in round 3, I survived an Emrakul the Promised End and then immediately comboed them to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also turn 3 them in game 3.
Turn 3.
Turn 3. So it was land, Bobble, Amber, Emery, Mill. No, I didn't. I don't think I milled anything of significance there. But in hand, I have Underworld Breach and Thassa's Oracle,
Right.
and I have a Rumble. So next turn, I go Rumble. Oh, there's 2 grinding stations. That's great. Play land, pass, and then turn 3, I just go, okay, Underworld Breach, and they have they played something for 3 mana, and they're just like, yeah. And I go through it a little bit, and they're like, all right, so can you kill me at this point? I'm like, there's no way I can fizzle unless you somehow have graveyard interaction. They go, I have no graveyard interaction. GG's. They never made that opponent never made me go through it. They were like, are you stoppable at this point? And I just went, and both times I was being straight up honest. I was like, no, unless you have a specific card, you cannot stop me at this point. So the game is
That's nice that they were at least honest with you about it.
and I was honest with them in that kind of case. Like when they're being honest with you and they just kind of want to get the game going, I'll respect that and be like, yeah. In game 2, I fizzled. Like I had to go for it because like the following turn they're going to kill me. But I fizzled, and when that kind of thing happens. But yeah, and then I played like Breach a couple more times. I don't know. I'm gonna be off the deck though going forward. It's not because the deck's bad or anything. I think the deck is good. It just goes back to fundies. I don't think my fundies in actual gameplay are very good right now. So I need to go play a fundies deck, which is Murktide, or in this case, just Oculus. I'm trying a list without Murktide at all, which we'll see. I don't know. Murktide is a pretty excellent, like an 8/8 Murktide is a pretty excellent closer, especially in a fetch shock format.
Yeah, it is.
Because like that's a 2-turn clock every time. And then of course, like if you frog and Murktide and you just like, all right, I'll exile my entire graveyard. Here's like a 15/15. Good luck.
So is it an Oculus only build?
Oculus only. The creatures are Frog, Bowman, Graveyard Trespasser, and Oculus.
I've seen similar lists.
Yeah, I'm trying it. I'm not sold on Graveyard Trespasser being a modern playable card, but
that's it's an interesting take that some would have on that.
Yeah. And then that's really it for Magic. One Piece. There was also a One Piece tournament that weekend. I played a bunch of practice matches with one of my buddies, and I was just not liking how my deck was feeling. So I went up and I got my $40 back and dropped from the tournament before it even started. And boy, what a decision! I was going to play Purple Luffy, and that deck like is technically a 50-50 with everything, but like you need to see optimal pieces at the correct time versus other decks that have like ways you can play around things. But like Purple Luffy, if you don't see everything you need to see, you just kind of like fizzle and flail about, and everyone just beats you. So I gave that up and was just like, yeah, fine, that's fine. And then and so I just watched like friends play, and I would like critique them after the game. And then there was a team 3v3 that was supposed to start at and this is the other thing too. So this event, the Magic, the 1K that I played at, and the 2 One Piece tournaments, a team trios and the actual at-large tournament. All were supposed to start at a specific time. All of them started at least half an hour late.
What?
So yeah, which was upsetting, like greatly upsetting. Like I had to run to my table for the beginning of the Magic 1K because I didn't know that the fucking round started. Because I was outside, because it was like 2:09 and it was supposed to start at 1:30. And like all of a sudden I refresh Melee and there's my pairing and I'm like, oh fuck,
oh no,
I gotta go.
That's
so yeah,
awful.
I was unhappy that entire weekend. Just like tournaments not firing at the correct time. It was bad. And then somebody in the One Piece 3K or in the One Piece 3v3. It's round 1. And middle seats are playing each other, and it's a mirror match. and my friend's middle seat is winning. But like he doesn't remember what
What's middle seat mean? Sorry.
So you have a 3v3. So you have this is how you're set up.
Oh,
You have
okay.
A seat, B seat, and C seat. A play, B and B play, C and C play. So
Okay.
middle seat, B seats, who are generally the team captains. The way trios works is that captain B seat can talk to A seat and C seat. C seat can only talk to B seat, and A seat can only talk to B seat.
Huh.
So like you can get advice on like, hey, what do you think about this line? Hey, is this hand keepable in this situation? Would you mulligan this hand? Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
So the two, like the A seat and the C seat games, have both ended at this point. So A seat is now like somewhat coaching B seat through it because he hasn't played the deck in a long time. He borrowed my deck for this event, and he's like, he doesn't remember all the specific lines, so he's kind of getting coached through it, and his opponent's getting fucking mad about it, and to the point where after the game, my friend wins, so the team wins. He goes for the fist bump, and the guy just goes,
"Whoa!"
Just wait. For those of you who can't see this, he just like waves him off, like, "Nah, we're not fist pumping. We're not fist bumping. We're not shaking hands, anything like that." And then apparently, because he was mad, like that he got fucking coached through it, and it's like, well, that's what 3v3 is,
right?
Like that's the whole point of 3v3. Your middle seat is like people just get coached through shit. Like people talk. You're supposed to talk during the event to each other, you know?
Right.
And then afterwards, as one of the team was going to report the win, the guy was just like kind of fucking yelling at him the whole time. Just being like, I can't that guy was getting fucking cooked if it was just 1v1, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, brother, shut the fuck up.
Right.
Shut the fuck up. And it turns out that guy worked at a vendor booth all weekend. Yeah. Quite honestly, it was actually like a good vendor. Like I got so many fucking I spent like $300 on cards that weekend. But like that vendor had like some good shit. And so I spent like probably like $150 plus. Actually, it's even more because I traded in like $80 worth of Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I don't use anymore and bought fucking One Piece cards. So right. Yeah, like it's like, man, you can't, like, if you're repping someone's brand, you can't go to a tournament and fucking salt off, because like that's gonna, like, it didn't affect the way I wanted to buy, because like the actual owner of the stand was like a cool person, but like,
right,
you can't do that, man.
It's crazy.
But they just missed out on top 8. I felt bad because the one person in C seat saw the same matchup 4 times in 5 rounds. Yeah, a matchup that he does not have a good time into. And we told him that his approach kind of sucks to it, and he just kind of didn't listen.
Oh, that sucks.
And also I said, hey, your deck sucks. I didn't say your deck sucks. I said your deck's not very good. Here's a better deck that you could just play instead. And he just went, nah, this deck's great. And I'm like, okay, sure. And yeah, so he got smoked with that deck. He was playing Smoker, for those of you who care, into Blue Doflamingo, which yeah, it's a tough one. It's a really hard one. I said on Saturday, because they were asking like, hey, what do you think of like what the A seat person was like, what do you think are like the best decks of the team event? And I went, I think it's Black Lucci from OPO7. I think it's OPO1 Blue Doflamingo, and it's either ST13 Black Yellow Luffy or OPO5 and L. Those are the 4 decks, and you lock in those first 2, and the other 2 are like the who can play this. And hey, guess what? Anel, anyone can play. A fucking 5-year-old could play it, like right now. Like you teach them the basics of the game, and they can play Anel. Like it's that easy. And quite honestly, if they'd done the Anel in C seat, he probably would have won all of his matches, and they would have 100% been in top 8. So I don't want to say I was right, but I was right. And also, he told me this week that, hey, I'm dropping Smoker because the deck isn't very good. Dan, you were right. And yeah, I know I was right. I knew that months ago. I told him months ago. I was like, bro, don't play, just play Rob Lucci. Just build up Rob Lucci fundies and you'll be good. And he just went, nah, I'm gonna play Smoker. I'm like, okay, you can play Smoker. It's good into purple Luffy. You're gonna schmix me sometimes. But like Rob Lucci's just way better. So
That's funny.
yeah. But yeah, that's about it. The actual event was fun and good, but like I want like TOs to be more stringent and strict with like the time you're running the event. Like if you say you're running the event at like noon, fire at noon. Don't fire at like 12:30, 12:45.
I would
If
also
you
say
say,
don't fire it early because I've seen
well,
that.
yeah, don't fire it early either. But like if you're firing at like 12:10, sure,
Mhm.
you're making sure people are signed up, deck list return, and that kind of thing. Fine, but don't make people wait half an hour, man. Don't do that. Like that's so fucking bush league.
Yeah. Yeah, that I don't like that.
Yeah. So, Bill, that's Fortnite and card games. A whole 20 minutes.
Yeah, we did it, guys.
We did it. So,
What deck should we play for modern?
I'm
Uh, the viewers, because like, yeah, our season's now done for modern. So it's like, hey, like, what's something we should maybe try out now that that stuff's going to calm down a bit?
non-ring decks.
Non-ring decks, because we think that's probably getting banned.
I I think most people think that's getting banned. I've heard like people the restriction talk back up again. And let me tell you this: if that happens, Team of Breach still gonna love running the One Ring because guess what? They can do that grinding station bullshit where it like grinds
Right.
away a One Ring and then Emery's and then plays it again,
Yeah.
which is great. That's great. It's a great loop. I love that. That's my favorite.
It's fantastic. It's a good loop.
Yeah, but I mean, I think respective of all comments, I'm going to just go back to Murktide because I think once the One Ring gets banned, it's going to be between Murktide, and by Murktide I mean Blue Black, Blue Black and Boros. I think those are going to be the top two decks. I think
Yeah.
Combo drops off a lot if the One Ring gets banned because like the thing with Combo is that if it's fragile, it's fragile, and
Right.
the One Ring prevents fragility. So instead, if you're just like, all right, well, let's get rid of the piece that kept you in these games, do those combo decks work anymore? I think Titan sticks around. I think Breach sticks around to a degree, although it's a lot more fragile. Because
Yeah.
it's just it can be victimized into getting aggro down. It loses playing Ring on turn 3. That is like its number one strength is being able to play Ring on turn 3. Just dropping Ring a whole turn earlier than everybody else.
Yeah. Huh.
But of course, it can just kill you on turn 3 too. It just goes, hey, Emery, all right. Oh, it actually can turn to you because like it's very specific, but you have to have like Breach in hand, and Emery Mill has to hit grinding station. But and like obviously your opponent can have no interaction with the Emery. It's just like this Emery lives. All right, cool. I milled over a grinding station. All right, activate Emery effect. Pick up the grinding station, and then is that right? Hold on, no, I'm
I
thinking.
think so.
No, you need 2 ambers. You need 2 Mox ambers also.
Oh, right.
Because you need the Mox Amber, you need the Mox Amber to play from. So actually, you have to go. It's very specific. I don't want to go into the line, but like you need like very specific pieces to turn 2, but turn 3 is very very easy with Breach sometimes. So you're still gonna get those wins, but like the longer games are no longer going to benefit combo because Ring doesn't exist in theory.
I've been hearing some people suggesting that maybe Ocelot Pride get banned. I don't think Ocelot Pride's that bad. Like, it takes setup to get Ocelot Pride going.
Yeah, the thing is
Like,
I think
it can get out of hand quickly,
Yeah.
but there is a turn and a half, I would say, to combat that.
I think the card that is worse is Guide of Souls. But if you have no Guide of Souls, there is no energy,
Correct.
and therefore the deck doesn't work. So, do you gut the deck? My general answer to that is no. That's why I feel like the One Ring is like the safest ban because it guts 0 decks. Every deck can still function. It's just they're a bit worse.
Every deck except Eldrazi.
That's good. That's a good question. Can Eldrazi survive?
Mhm.
I don't know. I think control decks. I think Jeskai control dies entirely because like Jeskai control needs that, or like they just play more interaction. Actually, I think they just play more interaction, honestly, and a better mana base because their mana base is fucking atrocious. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get too much into ban talk. We have about a month until the ban list because what December 16th is the tentative announcement. So like, you know, Merry Christmas to us. We get to talk about that. Actually, let me see. Of course. To the shock of no one. Hey, an episode will be recorded the weekend before. So guess what? Live reaction on a Monday again.
It's every time. Like
every time they can't help us.
They've done this schedule.
I know.
Every time to me or us.
Every time. To us.
To both us. Of us.
To me, in the middle of doing payroll.
In the middle of doing payroll. Oh no.
In the middle of doing payroll, I have to fucking talk about the ban list and complain about it. All right. But thank you everybody for listening. If you like the show, please give us a like, subscribe over on YouTube, leave a comment, let us know what modern decks you think we should get some fundies on now before the One Ring ban happens. That way we are well ahead of the curve into the new format. If you're on the podcast side, give us a subscribe and a review. We greatly appreciate that stuff. Thank you for listening. Bill, anything you want to say?
Hopefully everybody who wanted to do Eternal Weekend did it. Like got the invites and everything that they wanted because you're not gonna they're sold out again.
Good. So I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm glad too. I can't wait. That's next week, by the way. So I will probably do a tournament breakdown report afterwards. So yay, mid recording content. No.
Content.
Yeah, I don't know. Content. Words.
All right. Excellent. Well, Bill, good luck at Eternal Weekend, even though I'm going to talk to you between now and when Eternal Weekend actually happens. But good luck for the public, so that way the public thinks that I like you.
Oh, it's gonna be bad.
Oh, I know
it's gonna be so.
You're not playing blue-black, therefore garbage.
No, that's an option right now.
I can't wait to see these bundies, these buns fundies.
Yeah. No practice, by the way. Have had no practice because I'm so effing tired.
Oh God, it's gonna be awful. All right, well, until the next episode, thanks for listening. Keep calm and spike on.